My name, Chuck Platinum, from the BX, New York City, originally Lower East Side. My personal opinion on uh, hip hop today is there's no thought behind it. It's very easy. When I was coming up in the game, there was levels to get to where you had to get to. And I think that with the internet and with everything, and this was what I was talking about with the independence, it's very easy for anybody to decide, oh, I just want to be a rapper. And not just that I want to be a rapper, but I'm just going to say anything with no thought behind this. I'm going to get a beat that sounds like everybody else's beat, and then I'm going to say something very simple because it works on the radio. And that's what artists are not doing today in hip hop. That's the state of hip hop today, is that some artists are not, really thinking about what they're putting on this in the world. They're just releasing anything, and they're releasing anything to our babies. You understand what I'm saying? So this is the problem. Now, that's the bad side, because there's a good side and a bad side. I had to get the bad side out first. The good side about hip hop is that we have so many subgenres in hip hop that you don't have to like everything. You can just be, you might not be into gangster music, but you're in the black hippie music or hip hop. Or you might be into the ratchet music and the trap music, or you might be into the lyricists, or you might be into this part of hip hop, or you might be into that part of hip hop. So the beautiful thing about where the game is at right now is that there's so many subgenres that you could pretty much do whatever you want to do in hip hop. And I love that part. Before, we used to have eras, the bling era, the peace era, when people was wearing the medallions and everything, and the flashy era, the jiggy era. Now it's so many subgenres that people are just kind of creating their whole, whatever they want to do, and it's all mixed. So I like that. I like that hip hop is broadening the horizons, where it's not just one sound. It's a whole bunch of different elements. It gives you a chance to experiment a little bit. Social media has changed the whole way of how music has been, music is distributed, and how people view things. In the past 8 years, I would say that social media started taking really effect in 2005 or so. And when it came about, people didn't really understand it. I kind of caught on immediately when MySpace came out. I thought it was brilliant. It's definitely played a big part in how we view things. It's instant gratification. People can, get things at a drop of a dime, and the way things are reported. I used to be a magazine head. I used to go to the newsstands, get XXL Source. I needed that, that fix. I needed the articles. I needed to see what was going on, and I had to wait a whole month to get these magazines. But now with social media and with blogs, that's a thing of the past. I don't even remember the last time I picked up a magazine. So with social media, it's beautiful when it's used the right way. And I think that a lot of times people don't understand how to use social media, especially when you're in a position of power, or you're in a position of influence, which is a key word, influence. And a lot of people don't recognize their influence, so they do a lot of things not knowing that because things are instant, things that get reported, all kinds of things. So, I think that if people utilize social media for the influential aspect of it, everybody really can have a shot at making it because there's a billion people out there. There's billions and trillions of people out there. So even if you cornered the market and you got 10,000 loyal fans out of a trillion people, you could be rich off of 10,000 people. It doesn't take a lot of people, but you have to get your fan base. So I think what social media did is it created an opportunity for people to create their own lane in this game and create their own situations in this game.
I know that everything living is gonna die. I'm spitting cause I'm alive, and one day I'm gonna fly to the top for the judgment. Till then, I'll be on the go getting bucks with niggas I grew up with. And that's real, that's real. So I'ma grind for the guap, and I'ma rise from the bottom to top, and I'ma get it if you with me or not. So if you with me, commitment, dedication, or you see me a lot. You heard? You heard? You heard? I shine bright, not looking for the fame or the spotlight. Just be on the grind and my mind right. Hating in the summer with your white tee, something to the colors of brake lights. Brothers and we ain't tight, nigga fuck a friend, cause they fire you in the end. I ain't fucking with the fake type. Every day I'm hustling, Ace Hood, Rick Ross, kick good, hollow on the grind till I break night. And I've been struggling, tatted on the forearm, welfare, no pops, plus I had a poor mom. But she raised me though, grew up in the 80s, yo. 90s was the time I heard Biggie on the radio. J Wu-Tang, fucking Nas, Illmatic. This rap shit whack now, what the fuck happened? I don't know, y'all, but I'm a menace with the flow. Call me can't give a fuck like a old dog.
What do I think is important between being lyrical or just putting words on a beat is a very, very good question. Lyricism, and I'm putting the shameless plug out here because, you know, I'm starting a clothing brand, Lyricism is Life. Lyricism is life. Lyricism is, there's no music without lyrics, just like music and production go hand in hand. But lyricism is very important because, you know, it's not just about putting words on a beat, you know, and that's what a lot of people do. They take the beat and they hear this beat and then they might say if the beat is doing something like doom, doom, that, then they like dun, dun, and they rapping and they just, it's very simple. But when you have lyrics and you have lyricisms, let's just take it back to somebody like Rakim, right? And I'll use Rakim because he's very detail oriented about the technical aspect of how lyrics are put together. He's very adamant about, listen, this word, these sets of words have to fit with these sets of words, and you know, it has to be a certain way, it has to be aligned a certain way. What you say is important. Just like any lyrics, even with R&B, you want to have lyrics that people are not going to forget. And that's what happens when you just put words on a beat. People forget them. It's very disposable. And that's what happens with just putting the lyrics on a beat. But when you have lyrics, I still remember lyrics. You know, I put 7 MCs, put them in the line, you know, that's lyrics right there. I remember that. I remember, you know, rappers stepping to me. They want to get some, but I'm the king, so hurt. You know the outcome. Ask me about any of these rappers today, and I guarantee you that I won't remember their words. So that's the difference between being a lyricist and getting on a beat and creating a whole song, and somebody that just really doesn't care about the song and you know, they're doing it. Some people do this for hip hop and some people are just rapping. I think that people who are just putting words on a beat, they just kind of rapping, because anybody could rap. You know, rapping comes from Africa. You know, rapping, we was rapping on the corners, just, you know, Muhammad Ali was rapping, you know, fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee. You know, Muhammad Ali was rapping. So that's the difference with lyricism and, you know, just putting the words on paper, that you just, you know, just rapping, you're not putting it, it's not thought provoked. When you just, you know, when you're writing lyrics, you know, when I'm thinking of concepts and I'm thinking of different things that I want to say and how I want to say it, every time that I put a project together, every time that I put a song together, I'm thinking of how I want it to come across. what kind of styles. Like even when I did my project I Am Legend 2, you know, I knew exactly how I wanted to come on the project. You know, how did I want to say what I wanted to say? What different styles that I wanted to put on the beat, you know, creating different styles. And I think that rappers really don't care about that today. Artists care about that, but rappers really don't care. And that's where the quality, you know, is. Like when you get somebody like Eminem, Eminem is a lyricist. When you get somebody like Joel Ortiz is a lyricist. When you get somebody like Kendrick Lamar is a lyricist. You know, as we're stating with the recent things that's going on right now with the whole Big Sean Control verse, that's lyricism. And that's why I don't agree with a lot of things that's going on right now, because what he was doing was pushing the envelope for lyricism, because lyricism is a lost art. People get lazy with writing. You can't get lazy with writing. You have to be able to put these things together so people can be inspired. We could find different techniques. If I'm doing the same thing, if my son could rap right now and he's 3, and my son could just rap and do anything that's out here right now, that's a problem. I need my son to figure it out. I need my son to sit down and, Daddy, how did you come up with that? How did you come up with that? You know, what made you say that? I love it when these young boys be out here and they be like, yo, it took me I had to rewind your album a few times to get it. That's called rewind factor. And when you are not, you know, engaged in your lyrics, I guarantee you there will be no rewind factor. The rewind factor is when you hear something, whether it's a verse, whether it's a beat, whether it's a whole song, you know, something that you heard on the radio, something that you heard that just excited you in that moment. Like, ooh, that was crazy. I got to bring that back. There's some times where I listen to something that was so hard that I won't even make it. Like, for instance, you know, shout out to my brothers Triborough. I was talking to my brother Joe Cool, and by the time this comes out, that record will be released. I was talking to my brother Joe Cool, and I had produced this record for Triborough. And he said, yo, bro, he said, I listened to the first verse twice. And that, my friends, that's rewind factor. When you have something that's so significant, whether it's the whole package or something that somebody said, or maybe the whole verse, and somebody just can't, they just can't get through the whole thing, that they got to rewind, or they get through the whole thing and they have to rewind. That's the rewind factor. And those are what hits are made from, you know, when it's unforgettable. It's something that it's not transparent. It's not disposable. It's something that you are going to rewind over and over again, not just once, but over and over again. That's how you get hit records. You know, when you give something to the universe and a person can't live without it, that's the rewind factor. A cipher is a group of people that get into a circle. If you know anything about, if you know anything about the supreme mathematics, peace to the gods and the earth, a cipher is 0. It's a circle, right? So the cipher is a group of people in a circle, lyricists, maybe not, maybe spectators, but mostly lyricists that got in the circle and spit rhymes. And you spit and rhyme, whether it was off the top. Most of the time it was off the top. Y'all rappers don't know nothing about that now. Blackberry rappers, y'all know who I'm talking about. You know, that was spitting off the top, and we would just get in there and we would just freestyle, just go crazy. And oh my God, when you get in a cipher, like you kids will never understand, yo, the energy that you got when you was in a cipher, and when you had to be great. Like, you had to be good at what you did.